as well is we shouldn't assume that we actually know what to do yet, right? I mean, they're easy things. Obviously, roads need to work and we need to get sanitation and electricity and, they're basic things in governance that need to be improved. But uprooting apartheid, injustice, is not something you can just run into. In fact, you need not only to be wise enough to implement it, you need to be wiser than the apartheid people who put it in place, such that it's been there for long enough. So what we ultimately need in the country is an alternative vision for South Africa, which does not hold anything as holy. So I'm talking about the Constitution itself, right? I'm talking about law. So when most people talk about what we need to do, it's just what policy should we change, right? Policy change is just the surface, right? Let's look at apartheid, right? They didn't just change policies, right? They didn't say, oh, well, we're going to privatize one thing here. And it started right at the top. There was a vision and a philosophical outlook. That was then converted into a constitutional system, right? From the Constitution, they created a set of laws, not one or two, hundreds of different laws that they implemented with speed, right? Then over that, there were policies which reinforced the laws and the constitutional outlook. And then there was a political party which drove all of this, right? So if we're really going to change and move into a new country, we need a new vision, which is constitutional, which is legislative, which is policy-oriented, which is economic, and which has the political players that are capable of driving it through. And that's a multi-generational vision. And I don't feel we've actually even created that vision yet, of what needs to be done to because it's actually going to be very difficult. We don't know how deep those apartheid forms of injustice are embedded in our society, and to actually uproot them is going to take massive imagination. So if we can't create it, which I would love to be able to do, but you need the resources for that kind of thing, at least we must start talking about it and envisioning it. And that's what Ugogo does so well in our conversations. He talks about, well, what would a different society look like?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy those interviews. And yeah, it's very important. We need to hear people like that because there's an onslaught from the media. I don't even watch the news. I haven't watched the news in a very long time.
Yeah.
I haven't sat and watched the news in years, like almost a decade, because I could see when I was in my early 20s that there's an onslaught, a barrage. Like if you were coming from a different planet and wanted to figure out what is the problem in South Africa, in the last 9 years, you would think that it's Jacob Zuma.
Yeah.
In the last 6 months, you would think it's Cyril Ramaphosa.
True.
There's like an absence of context of why this country is, it looks